Yep, we actually are starting with this one. So there are enough YouTube videos, Q&A questions, and cringe comp editions on this topic that you probably think you'd have nothing new to add here. But honestly, I feel like everyone else has gotten this so incredibly wrong that I feel like I needed to say something. Whenever I see this, it's always a younger member of the community who's still doing a lot of working things out. I don't think you'd be asking this question otherwise, and that's totally okay. But there's also a lot of history in the fandom around this topic, so I'm just going to start with that right away. If you're in your early 20s or older, don't live at home, or aren't dependent on your parents' approval, it can be very easy to be dismissive. No, of course you shouldn't tell your parents you're a furry. Why the hell would you? If it's only going to make your life harder, and unless you're going to a con as a minor, it doesn't even matter to you, right? But I'm sorry, this isn't a video for you guys. When you're 16 and first discovering the hobbies and communities you really fit in with, it feels like every decision you make is the most important thing in the world. It's scary as hell. I've been there not that long ago either. When you're there in life, your parents and family are super important to you. Whether you realize it or not, your family shapes a lot of who you are and who you want to be. And I don't care what kind of relationship you have with your family, they're an important part of your life if you're reaching out to ask this question. When you're young, it's totally normal to want to share what you're doing with your family. Everybody wants to feel validated, and with how fast your life is changing at this point, your parents and family are often the only really solid foundation you have as to what's normal or socially acceptable. Especially, let's just remember for a minute that furry is weird, okay? A little sanity check might not go amiss there. But if it sounds like I'm talking to you, here's the most important part, and what for me was one of the most important parts of growing up. Your interests, your hobbies, your opinions, your sexuality are valid, no matter what your family thinks. And no matter what your family thinks of you. If you go to your family for acceptance, you need to understand that you might not always get it, and it won't be your fault. The fandom is, for the most part, a seriously incredible community like absolutely nowhere else. It can be supportive and liberating, and I understand how people fall in love with it today just as much as when I did myself. But you have to understand that it's weird, and not everyone is going to immediately understand or approve. That's just the risk you run when you have hobbies that fall outside of what most people consider normal. No, you probably shouldn't tell your parents you're a furry. But not because you'll wind up kicked out on the street. As a young adult, you have to come to terms with it being okay for you to have opinions and hobbies that aren't exactly what your parents want for you. It's okay to do something for yourself, and sometimes that means keeping it to yourself. So as an addendum, I just wanted to add that if you think your family is going to be accepting of what you do in your free time, absolutely go and share it. But if not, it's perfectly alright to keep it just for you.